Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we're gonna do something a little bit different. You see, we've been granted early access to an upcoming Warhammer 40,000 game known as Battlesector. A turn-based game focusing on the Blood Angels chapter shortly after the famed event known as the Devastation of Baal. Through this early access, I've been able to play 2 missions, and I want to take the time in this video to talk to you about some cool features that you are to expect. Before we begin, please bear in mind that this game is of course in its beta form, so any issues that may show up on screen are expected to be dealt with by the time of release. And of course, this is not a review, but a simple showcase of what I believe are cool features. But with all that being said, let's get started. Let's start off strong here with movement and combat. Yes, basic mechanics which are always implemented into games, but as you are aware, with turn-based games such as this, they are generally quite slow. Normally, you can only have 1 unit at a time moving, or even 1 unit at a time shooting, but with this, we can actually move units quite quickly. It's all depending about your reflexes on the mouse. As you can see from this clip, as soon as I begun a game, I was able to move my forces quite quickly, and focus fire the beginning Tyranids with a number of units just to knock them down as quickly as possible. This is a great feature, as I said. It makes the game a bit more fast paced. You're there for battle, not just to wait to see 1 unit go to 1 position. Now this is a rather interesting feature. You'll notice with these types of games, obviously units are usually put into squads unless they're characters or single entities. In other games, these squads normally share a health pool. However, here in Battlesector, each of the individual units in the squad has their own separate health pool. You would have noticed that I sent my captain in to do damage, and with 1 single strike, he managed to kill 1 of the Tyranids. In this next clip, I've started the scenario again, but this time I've got my other character firing into that same squad with his bolt pistol, after which I'll send in my captain and he will go strike with his chainsword. Despite the fact that we know this captain is perfectly capable of one-shotting a single Tyranid, we can see here that he manages to kill the wounded one and no other damage transfers to the group. In theory, there would have been a lot of excess damage, but since this is a single entity attacking a group, especially with just a simple melee weapon, of course the damage is not expected to then transfer to the remaining units of that squad. This is actually quite thematic and much more realistic. Well, as realistic as you can get in the 41st millennium. Moving on, yet still related, melee combat is quite useful in this game, and of course this does make sense as you're going to be playing the narrative campaign as the Blood Angels. This is a Space Marine chapter which is known to get quite up close and personal, and the reason why I'm noting this in this video is because these types of turn-based games tend to feature ranged weaponry, yet in Battlesector there seems to be a balance between both. Guns will keep your enemies at a distance, but your fast-moving chainsword units will be able to intercept enemies as they try to flank you. Next, there are a variety of different units, each with their own different type of weaponry, and it is important to note that some of these weapons are better to take out certain enemies than others. Say for example, don't use flamers on single entity targets. Or grenades for that matter. Instead they should be used against the hordes as they are the ones with more entities within the specific unit. Next, many of your units, not just your characters, will have access to certain abilities. This is usually representing extra equipment or abilities that these units may have on either the tabletop or in lore. Some examples would be the aggressors, which are a multi-purpose unit. You can use them to gun down your enemies from afar. They can also become a mid-ranged artillery unit, or you can use them up close and personal for melee damage to take out big monsters. I'll hopefully be showing off each of these units with their own uses in future videos to come. And for a last note, it looks like the AI has some degree of what's going on in the battlefield. As you can see here, my Dreadnought is fighting a rather big beastie. And you'll also see some Termagants moving away to fire directly at my Dreadnought. Now, the reason why I found this impressive is because the Dreadnought was not a real threat to them at this very moment. However, behind that tanker was my Tech Marine, and that Tech Marine could have in fact hit those Termagants with his bolter pistol. So naturally, during the Tyranids' turn, they had moved away, so they were out of line of sight. Also, during my stream of Battlesector last night, I also did notice that the gargoyles were trying to flank around me or hit me from the rear. Interestingly enough, specifically aiming for my Tech Priest, who was healing up by Dreadnought, so it looks like the AI itself seems to be somewhat intelligent. Now, as of the time of recording this video, I've had a total of 6 hours playtime on Battlesector, and things seem to look quite promising for this upcoming title. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to cover this more, and we'll be able to show off new stuff. So far, even in its beta state, it's looking quite good. I've not really seen any issues. In fact, my only issue during this closed beta was actually just myself, as in my infinite wisdom for one of the missions I had not read the actual objectives. But what do you guys think so far about Battlesector? Are you excited for this upcoming title? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion. Please be advised that as of the time of recording this video, there is no official release date just yet. However, I will advise that if you do intend to purchase this game, maybe wishlisting it on Steam would be a good idea, as of course that's the best way to keep up with any official updates. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince, and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman, and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.